Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada's jewel on the Pacific. Gateway to the Orient, a city for the future. This historic pier on the central waterfront will be transformed by a landmark building to celebrate Expo 86, the World's Fair in Vancouver's centennial year. The Tokyu Corporation of Japan joined with the Government of Canada to develop Canada Place. Each of the partners committed more than $140 million to provide Canada's third largest city with a major international convention center, a cruise ship terminal, a World Trade Center, and the Pan Pacific Hotel. The Canada Place project began under extraordinary time constraints. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth signaled the start of construction in March of 1983, with completion anticipated for the spring of 1986, only 3 years away. Work began with the rehabilitation of the old passenger ship pier. Built in the 1920s, it delivered visitors into the very heart of the city. And now the ships will return to Canada Place. Site preparation required that 200 large steel caissons be drilled through the pier into bedrock and filled with concrete. Another 700 concrete pilings were positioned before work continued on footings and slabs and below-grade surfaces. Fearless iron workers began their aerial ballet to install the 13,500 metric tons of structural steel. Said one worker, "This is the most fascinating job I've ever worked. It's great steel, nice to climb. I mean, this is big stuff." Structural engineers Reed Jones Christopherson designed and specified the nearly 2 million square feet of steel support. Canron's performance as manager of the structural steel program is typical of the spirit that made this fast-track project such a success. Even before contracts were sealed, Canron negotiated commitments from the steel mills to reserve time slots for the necessary production. The major components were transported by barge to minimize disruption to the city's business district. Prefabrication work began off-site, far in advance of delivery, to accommodate the tight scheduling. Architect Eberhard Zeidler of Zeidler Roberts in Toronto headed the design team for Canada Place, with Frank Musson of the Musson-Cattell-Mackey Partnership in Vancouver and Barry Downs of Downs Archambault in Vancouver. Operating as the consortium Canada Place Architects, they pooled the resources of their own firms with the engineers and special consultants to provide an integrated architectural presence. They worked in close cooperation with manufacturers, suppliers, the construction trades, and Tokyu's own construction team to guide Canada Place from design concept through the working drawings to realization. As an additional challenge, the convention center would begin life as the Canadian Pavilion for Expo 86. This presented the architects with a unique opportunity. Great exhibition buildings have always been at the edge of new technology, notes Eb Zadler, daring what a normal building is neither willing nor permitted to do. The tradition is to demolish these showcase buildings, but Canada Place will remain to lead the revitalization of Vancouver's waterfront. TCL Construction Company was charged with the responsibility of coordinating the diverse activities both on and off the site. As overall construction manager, their skilled supervision of this team effort brought the project in 3 months ahead of schedule and $2 million under budget. Construction advances to the Hotel World Trade Center tower using steel frame, steel deck poured concrete techniques. Considered vital to the Japanese participation, the World Trade Center will stimulate commerce and communications among Pacific Rim trading partners. Noboru Goto, chairman of the Tokyu Corporation, has committed the company's vast resources to a vision of a golden age of the Pacific. He can take pride in Tokyu's contribution to this beautiful transformation of Vancouver's waterfront. This is the first time that a Japanese company has participated in a major real estate development in Canada. As the first piece of the hotel's superstructure is positioned, the partners come together to dedicate their efforts in the spirit of international friendship and economic cooperation. Hideo Matsuo, Tokyu's senior managing director, was instrumental in arranging his company's participation. British Columbia Senator Jack Austin and Canada Harbour Place President Ken Bream guided development on behalf of the Canadian government. But it was Herbert Grutter who perceived this as an opportunity to join East and West and presented Canada's offer of partnership to the Tokyu Corporation in December of 1982. This spirit of friendly cooperation continued throughout construction as work progressed ahead of schedule and within budget. The distinctive features of Canada Place begin to emerge with the raising into place of the fabric roof, reminiscent of ship sails. The first of these 5 Teflon fiberglass sails goes up midway through the construction timetable. Daily news reports fuel the public's curiosity. Architect Eb Zadler's unique design provides an elegant solution to the problems of spanning 100,000 square feet of convention floor and marrying the roof to the pier, sharply angled at the far end. The sight of a full set of sails from the Pan Pacific Hotel brings to mind the captain's view from the bridge of a great ship. Angling the roof support cables 45 degrees between the masts places the roof ridges parallel to the angle of the pier. This design evokes a saddle-like form on the exterior and gives the interior a vaulted character, which is enhanced by the natural light streaming through the translucent roof. The use of an inner layer of fabric to create an insulating airspace also provides better acoustics within the convention halls. There were even those who flew in early to look over the hotel, even though Tokyu promised an opening just months away. The Canada Place complex is so well integrated that its scale is difficult to perceive. The 507 rooms of the Pan Pacific fill only the top 15 floors of the tower. The 250,000 square foot World Trade Center, a major component in the complex, buffers the guest rooms from the bustling hotel lobby. Canada Place is one of a new generation of computerized smart buildings. A high security complex, it features programmable electronic keys for the hotel suites and integrated alarm systems which extend to the cruise ships while they are docked here. With more than 200 cruise ship sailings and numerous conventions coexisting here in the summer season, as many as 50,000 people per day may visit Canada Place. To guarantee their safety, the complex has one of the most comprehensive fire control systems in existence. AME Consultants Electrical Engineers specified these systems as well as the building's normal power and lighting requirements. Adding a nice human touch, the elevators talk to riders with soft voices. Escalators rise through the atrium into the hotel lobby on the 5th level. This will be the heart of Canada Place, with elegant shops and restaurants, a lounge and cafe on the plaza, overlooking the sails and spectacular views of the harbor. The curtain wall of glass and metal panels encloses the hotel even as structural work continues above. Tradesmen in over 30 specialties work in the interior, advancing floor by floor. On October 26th of 1984, there is once again cause for celebration as the president of Tokyu, Canada, Toshito Shiota, welcomes his guests to the topping off of the Pan Pacific Hotel.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call upon the president, please, of the Tokyu Corporation of Canada, Mr. Toshito Shiota.
Thank you. Distinguished guests from government and the private enterprise, ladies and gentlemen. It is with considerable pleasure that I welcome you to our topping party at Canada Place. It should be of interest to all of us that it was possible to top off the structure of this beautiful building 1 month ahead of schedule. I believe it is most appropriate to express our appreciation to Canon, PCL, our architectural team, and all construction division in Tokyo, Canada, for their special effort. First and foremost, our special thanks go to all the construction workers, foremen, and superintendents who actually made it happen, and especially to the workers who walked on the narrow beam high up in the sky, regardless of weather condition. I would be grateful if we could count on your continued support and cooperation to bring this project to a successful conclusion.
Even with the support of all concerned, much remains to be done. Tokyu Director Herb Grutter consults with President Shiota and Senior Vice President Jim Yajima to ensure that the Pan Pacific Vancouver will open as a world-class hotel. The sensuous curves of the hotel tower, rising in terraces, relate to the flowing forms of the convention center roof. The finishing details were articulated by Hirsch Bedner in harmony with the aesthetics proposed by Canada Place architects. Design elements and materials were juxtaposed to break up the mass of the tower and produce visual rhythms on a more human scale. For example, the columns supporting the tower have Romanesque capitals that express the transfer of vertical forces down into the pier. Promenades ring the convention halls, and at the end of the pier there are restaurants, theaters, shops, and open decks offering breathtaking views of the harbor. Mechanical elements were engineered by MCW Consultants. A computer-controlled management system apportions the delivery of energy and water to individual users, including as many as 5 cruise ships at a time on a pay-as-you-go basis. Taking advantage of the location, MCW designed a demand air conditioning system using seawater passed through titanium heat exchangers, with energy savings estimated at $40,000 a year. Every room in the Pan Pacific Hotel offers a $1 million view over the harbor, into Stanley Park, to the North Shore Mountains, and over the city itself. General Manager Steve Halliday will supervise the operations of this delightful place. To the Japanese and island people, water is life. Life flows from the lobby of the hotel. The plaque reads, "In the spirit of Canada Place, this representation of the Pacific Rim coastline is dedicated to the enhancement of friendship and trade between Canada and our Pacific neighbors." Up on the bridge of the ship, forever berthed at its pier, work continues on the refinements that make this a smart building. A satellite communications system will provide the complex with the means to reach around the world. Tenants have access to international banks, customs brokers, translators, word and data processing, and a host of other business services. Then came the day.
The next activity from our program, ladies and gentlemen, is the formal ribbon-cutting ceremony, which will officially signal the opening of the Pan Pacific Vancouver Hotel, the World Trade Center office complex.
Pan Pacific Hotel at Canada Place. A Japanese hand extended to grasp a Canadian hand across the Pacific in economic friendship. And for Vancouver, a landmark building to promote its future to the world. The Pearl of the Pan Pacific.